The Department of Energy is proposing a new model to fund the backlog of electricity infrastructure maintenance and refurbishment, which is estimated at about $70 billion. The new model recognizes that in the light of the constraints on the fiscuses, no additional funding from this source will be forthcoming, nor a tariff increase is an option. The department's Director of Electricity Supply, Tabang Ordat, said in a briefing to Parliament's Energy Committee on Tuesday that the maintenance backlog was deteriorating and not being addressed by electricity distributing operators. Electricity distribution infrastructure was on average 40 years old, and a sustainable funding model to maintain and refurbish it was required. Grants from government to municipalities were not effective as the funds were used for purposes other than maintenance and were used for social infrastructure. The most practical funding solution was a central loan facility with loans coming from development finance institutions such as the Development Bank of Southern Africa, Public Investment Corporation, the Industrial Development Corporation and international lenders, which would be provided with a revenue guarantee. Ordat said in discussions with potential lenders it emerged that they wanted guarantees for repayment of the capital as well as regulatory certainty as conditions of granting loans. Some of electricity revenue would have to be ring-fenced to repay these loans. Ordat noted that there was already an allocation made by the National Energy Regulator of SAR of between 58% of the approved tariff, which was ring-fenced for maintenance of infrastructure. So there was funding in the system. This 58% would be used to repay the loans and would be deposited into a national consolidated account which would be created. Ordat said the department wanted to obtain the necessary approvals for the funding model and planned to establish a steering committee to spearhead the process. NERSA officials told MPs that less than the 6% that NERSA required to be ring-fenced for maintenance and repairs was in fact spent on this. Electrical infrastructure, they said, was very old and decaying. Eskom officials said that Eskom planned to invest $37.7 billion between 201,718 and 202,122 on the distribution network, including refurbishment of existing infrastructure and new electrification. But a critical challenge remained the unpaid debt of about $11 billion by end July. The top 10 municipalities owe $7.3 billion and the top 20 are $8.7 billion. There are 69 municipalities that owe more than $10 million. Eskom Group Executive for Customer Services Ayanda Noah said payment arrangements with municipalities were not being fully honored. Of the 62 payment arrangements existing, only 20 were being fully honored. She gave notice that electricity supply would be interrupted in the Eastern Cape from Wednesday if negotiations on Tuesday did not succeed in addressing the non-payment problem. She stressed that supply interruptions were a last resort, but that municipal debt to Eskom was climbing in an unsustainable way. Business Live